video three. All right, so you're in the classroom. All right. Again, hopefully by now you have bookmarked the curriculum site. If you haven't and you don't know how to do that, ask me. But it should be bookmarked. All right, either in Chrome or in Safari, whichever you want to use, or probably both for that matter. You click on the link. The link's going to take you to the main curriculum site. Go to Sophomores, and we're in week 1 and 2, digital illustration 2. All right, we've done this for each video, so we'll just keep doing it. So the next one is Trends Menagerie. Okay, I don't make up these names. I think they just make them up. The overall characteristics of this style are geometric, sort of a 3D look with a lot of angles. And the idea behind this one, as you can see, is you kind of want to create this feeling that it's three-dimensional in space. All right, it is not hard. Again, another one that's not hard to create, although it looks difficult to create. It's not at all. So let's get started on this one. Okay, so again, now I'm going to click and drag my little friend over here. I'm going to open up the file I've been working on. And again, hopefully you've saved these. I can take these if I want and scale them down, but for now I'm going to move them out of the way because I'm starting to get out of space. I actually want to scale them all down at the same time so they're all relatively the same size. I'm going to go to my originals layer and I'm going to drop this in. Okay, again, we've done this the previous 2 times. All right. Then I am going to lock my original layer and I'm going to get on my illustrations layer and I'm going to get started. Right. This one's all about pen tool. Okay. It's just, I find it easiest to use the pen tool, and you're basically going to be able to create one side and duplicate it and flip it. All right. So what I'm going to do to start actually is I'm going to create my colors first. So we've got coded. So now I'm going to make a new folder and I'm just going to call it Tran. Okay. So I have it, and for some reason white got pulled in there. We don't need to do that. All right. And now I'm going to again start to get my color. So I need this darker orange. I'm going to click and I'm going to click and hold. And I think I mentioned it before. The reason I do that, sometimes when you click the color and you then click to drag, it doesn't come with you. See that? And I don't really know why that is. But so I just do a double click. So click, click and drag. All right. And then I need this sort of gray color. All right. And this light beige color. All right. And this is just a good way to always start all your designs. Every design we do, we're going to eliminate all of the colors that are given to us. And it's only because it's much more convenient and much easier when you're dealing with a design that you open up this file or somebody else opens up your file, they can see that you've got 5 colors. They don't see all of the colors. And it's always really important to have every color designated. What that means is you never want to have a shape on your drawing and it just has a random color in it that isn't designated on your palette. All right? It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help you later on because you're going to have to go and build it anyway. All right, because if you pull this into InDesign, you need to know what colors you're using in order to copy them, okay, or duplicate them. So, pen tool, all right, again, click and go, click and go, click and go. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, all right, and the hard part about this, again, because it's a pixelated image and not a vector image that you're copying, is you got to, guess about where the line is, and then we can go back again and match them up. So I'm going to start off here, and I'm just going to click, and I'm going to click. I'll stop saying click. Go up here. And this one's going to be the darker orange, I believe. Okay. Now, I'm going to go over here. If you click over here, you'll notice it's the minus, and you will take away one of the shapes, and that's going to be really annoying. So you're better off to start over here. All right. I'll start right about there, and I'm going to click right to here, and then here, and then here. Do always finish your shape. Don't leave it with an open shape. All right. So I do that. Now, same thing. I'm going to go down here. And you'll notice there's like a little bit of the orange area here. I don't care if you make this connect all the way down. That's fine. All right. Again, it's the style more than anything else. Here, here, here. And that one's that lighter orange, which is perfectly fine for me. All right. And then I'm going to go to this yellow one. Now, you'll notice I kind of have nowhere to go. So I'm going to go up here. All right. Kind of because this tucks behind it. And I'm going to go here. And I'm going to go a little beyond here, and then I'm just going to click up somewhere over here and over here. Now, that is that sort of yellowish color, but I have to do what? I'm going to have to send it to the back, okay? So now I have that general shape, right? Then all I'm going to do is take this one, and I'm going to copy and paste. That I'll actually use the Command-C, Command-V, rather than Alt-Drag, and then I'm going to Object, all right? And I'm going to my transformation, and I'm going to reflect it, all right? And reflecting it is flipping it. So if I preview it, it does that. That's what I want. Horizontal, it does it this way. Okay. My vertical is good. Hit OK. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to line it up right where I want it. I'm actually going to I'm using this point down here as my lineup point because I just want those two to touch. Kind of like that. Okay. Now the last step is this and the little nose. And so I'm going to, again, get my pen tool. Now I'm going to go from here to here to here to here. You get the idea. All right. And this is this light beige. And again, I'm sending it to the back. And then I got the nose, and I probably should have done the nose first, but that's not a big deal because I can actually just go to my transparency here and drop the color of this down for a second. And then this is pretty simple. And on that, if you wanted to make a triangle, you could. Not a big deal. This is that darker color, I believe. So we'll go back here. We'll make my transparency 100%. All right, I'm going to back out a sec, and then I'm going to, whoop, I forgot one little step. My bad. I'm going to go here, here, and here, and here. I probably should have done this in the duplication process when I did this. Do the whole side. Don't do what I did. Hit the gray, send it back, and then I'm just going to copy, paste, transform, reflect. It's already vertical. Reflect, horizontal, weird, there we go, and tap it under there, and again, send it back, okay? So I can grab this and pull it off a little bit here just to kind of see how I did, and for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it, all right? So really what you're just looking for is making sure there's no white space and everything kind of lines up. It's going to be a little, I'm not going to zoom in here and be like, what's going on there? Now, there is a little blank line there. So I might take this guy and I might just bring it back a little further like that, just because that bothers me. All right. And that's really all, just make sure there's no space in between them. And if you have to, you can expand some of them and just move them behind. It's going to be a tad off in some places because, again, you're tracing it from a pixelated image. So the lines aren't finely defined. If with the nose, if you wanted to do the triangle instead of doing the pen tool, really all you need to do is use the star tool, click. Triangles have 3 points. Why? There's no triangle tool in Illustrator. There's the star tool, and a 3-pointed star is a triangle. We quickly went over that last year. I don't think I did it with everybody, but then you could take this and you can, kind of deform it to the way you want it to make it, and that would be fine too. Either one is fine. I just used the pen tool because I was already using the pen tool. All right. So now I've got I call it a cat or fox. I'm going to group it together like I did everything else. I'm going to go back to what I had before to my layers. I'm going to unlock my original layer. I'm going to delete that. Back to my illustrations layer, and now I've got the cat. Okay. So again, these aren't difficult. What's kind of fun about them, or I think they're fun about them, is that they are simple in terms of how to create them. Like you look at this and go, wow, that's kind of complex the way it finished out. But then when you create it and you break it down, it's really, really easy. And the same with this. All right. And these are easy. The recreations are easy. The challenge is really going to come when, how am I going to make a tree like this? How am I going to do that? And I will do a video with, ideas of how to sort of start the tree and get an idea for the tree. But your job, your assignment, once you get these done, is to create 2 sketches for each tree of how you're going to do it in these styles, okay? And that's why I gave you those characteristics, because the most important part of each of these characteristics is what it's listed for each one, okay? So that's what I'm looking for when I look at your tree. Is it geometric? Does it look like it's 3D? Does it have a lot of angles, all right? And the sample I gave you here, you can see sort of the 3-dimensional aspect of the tree. And it's not perfect. The thing about this is every light has a dark. Every dark has a light. Okay, that's kind of the idea. This is the shadow behind it. This is the darker side. This is the lighter side. The darker side, the lighter side. So it's creating this sort of 3-dimensional thing. Now, it's not perfect because if the light source was up here, this is not how it would light. Okay, so it's a little funky. But the idea is to create this sort of 3-dimensional, old school 3-dimensional look to it. All right. That's it for this one. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. Roll back the video. All right, that's what they're here for. Otherwise, good luck.